Good afternoon. This is Afternoon Sky. I'm your host, Sky. Let's get right into it. Um, so wind turbines, solar energies, these things, fossil fuels, nuclear power. What does it all mean? Lately there's been a challenge by the government by Letitia James, I think her name is, for she's going against President Trump's order to have the offshore wind turbines, that program, to be frozen. She wants it to be in place, but Trump wants it to be frozen. And I just have a few things to say about that. First of all, the government should have no say in private property rights other than to protect them. That's the only role that the government should play. Not to stop or block, not to promote or, encourage, but just to protect. Using a gun. Government is a gun. That has to be noticed. That's the only reason why. Hold on a second. Okay. That's the only reason why the government should be involved in cases like this. It should have no opinion, have no authority over saying somebody should build these things. Now, I'm in complete opposition. I'm also in opposition to the wind turbines and the solar panels. They're unsustainable. They're unreliable. They're expensive, and it's completely irrational to say that fossil fuels are dirty or are nasty or are terrible or something like that. If you look at a bar graph, just a bar graph, right? This line represents time, and this line represents human flourishing or human thriving. You will see that it's flat all the way up to about 1775, 1780s, something like that, when heavy industry started to begin, and that's when it shot up. Human flourishing, uh, quality of life, standard of life, life expectancy, all of that shot up, and it's no coincidence that that these two things should have happened. It's in direct line that they should have occurred. So to damn hi, I see you, Adriana Jar, 9514, 1000. Okay, I'm trying to get at least 1,000 people in this room. Thank you. Who's this? Kelcap B5F. Hi, hello. But yeah. So we have to respect, honor, and admire, and damn near worship the minds behind fossil fuels. They are the governing agents of our lives. They say cotton is the fabric of our lives. Well, fossil fuels are the lifeblood of any economy, any good economy. Are you good? That's your first question. Any other question you gotta pay for? Adriana, Adriana Ajar. I'm just gonna call you Adriana. Are you good? That's the real question. But that is a fact. I just have to say it like that because people get so confused. Oh my gosh, it's hurting the environment. What is the environment? There is no the environment. There's nature, and then there's human environment. Thank you, Dr. Jerome Brook. He said that. That's a fact. That's the difference between the two ideals. Bye. See ya. That's the difference. So you have to really understand, how these wind turbines are, ugly, costly, uh, completely, on the side of they're completely on the side of wrong. To have wind turbines instead of oil or gas or oil or coal or natural gas. That's just the reality. So I mean, I'm just flabbergasted at the fact that the government has that much reach and control, even though it's technically doing a good thing. It's trying to stop the wind turbines, but I disagree with the method. The method of it should be the government steps away, says you guys can battle out in the courts, and that's the government too. Go let the executive branch step back and let the judicial branch step in and take care of these issues, um, because it's our lives. It's everybody's life. All these things are our lives. And like I said, even though it's not a fossil fuel, nuclear energy is just as important as the fossil fuels. But the fossil fuels have to be defended the most because everybody thinks they're so nasty and dirty and ugly, and they create such horrible conditions and everything. Remember the bar graph. Life expectancy, standard of living, quality of life, all shot up at the turn of the from the 18th century to the 19th century, and it just kept going up and up and up and up and up. And we're just at a high pinnacle where we are. We're able to complain. We're able to bitch about different things like that, and we're using products. I mean, my tie is made from polyester. My shirt is polyester. My hat is probably made from that too. But this is all, just the phone I'm using, the components, all of it's in, it's innards. Everything that's inside of it had to be came from the ground, and you had to use fossil fuel to extract all those materials. The materials are based off of fossil fuels, the plastics, the different things like that. All that has to be, made from fossil fuels. The glass that had to be used for this particular device had to be brought, use a process using fossil fuels. Had to be made from sand. Had to be made from different things like that. So I think it's silicate. I could be wrong. Please correct my dumb ass if I'm wrong. It was silicate. Who is this? Carlicia 32. Hi. Hello. Hello, Carlicia. So that is the fact. Fossil fuels are the future. That's what Alex Epstein. I'm gonna say Epstein. I hope it's not Epstein. Forgive me if it is. Pardon me. I think it's Epstein though. Alex Epstein outlines in his book Fossil Future. He says, like, we're headed towards a greater day with fossil fuels. We're headed for prosperous days with fossil fuels, because not only are they reliable, sustainable, that's true, that's a fact, but they're just, they're in abundance. They're in a huge abundance. People say, oh, we're running out of oil. Yeah, we're running out of oil probably to like year 5,000 or not even, probably 10 or 20,000, probably even not even then. It's a very, sustainable resource. And we look at the politics we have with fossil fuels. They're talking about Venezuela. Venezuela has more oil reserves than any other country in the world. But their oil is very weird. They have a weird kind of oil. They have a heavy oil, which is different, I guess, than light, sweet crude. I didn't look into that, but I guess that's the opposite of that. Kind of like your coffee almost. But to be serious, the oil industry and the way that it's conveyed throughout the world, how people literally fight over and die over it. That's just telling how serious and how wonderful this thing is, how precious it is. My precious, my precious. That's the reality of that. That's the truth behind that. So I'm definitely gonna always be on the side of fossil fuels and the way that people use them, the way that we use them every day, and virtually every single piece of furniture, every vehicle, every fiber, everything that we even use or ever use is because of fossil fuels. That's the beauty. And for wind turbines, are you kidding me? They only produce a fraction of what fossil fuels can do. Not even close to it. Not even it's not even close. It's not even. It's like a challenge. It's not even close. It wouldn't. Fossil fuels would win a landslide. There's no way. No way. No way. So I just I really am resting on that point how human flourishing, the thriving aspect of humanity shot up. Just shot up. I mean, it's like so many things happen at the same time. The beginning of the industrial age and the ending of slavery in America, all of these different aspects converged at the same exact time. And that's when everything took off. There were railroads, there were telegraphs, there was electricity, there was that's another thing too. Um Rockefeller. Rockefeller was the most, and I think still is the most most wealthiest man in all of history. I think he still claims that title. He had like today's money, if you adjust it for inflation, he'd be worth like $600 billion or something like that. Something crazy. But he was the first billionaire in life. Oh, here we go. Brooklyn says hi. Just slide in to say hello. Tilted hat, gold tie, and a smile. And I hope you can feel through the screen. Appreciate it, Brooklyn. That's real talk, sir. Salute. Salute to you. I got 3 likes and I got 3 people in here. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. This is like a terrible time to come in, but I'm going out to dinner later on around 6. So I'm not going to be able to get on the mic at that time period. And afterwards, I'll probably be too tired. So I picked a time around this hour just to test it out. Now I see what I should have went left when I turned right. I beeped instead of bopped or something. Isn't that what how's it go? You beeped instead of bopped or something. Can't remember. What's for dinner tonight? Oh, Brooklyn. I have no idea, but it's at a restaurant. It's gonna be nice. It's for my sister's birthday. Not sure what the cuisine. I'm not sure exactly. She might have mentioned what the cuisine is, but I don't remember her saying. I don't remember what it is. But it should be pretty good. I'm just gonna get a salad. I'm eating plant-based foods from here on out. Probably throughout the year. Not even like at this 21-day fast that I'm on. I'm probably gonna go beyond the 21 days because I'm trying to slim down. I was at 205 like a week ago. Now I'm at 198. So I'm not mad. I'm at 198.6. So I'm not mad at all. I'm working this. I'm working this. Like seriously. Trying to do it. Trying to do it. All right. So but getting back, I mean everything we can talk about. We can talk about the food. We can talk about the restaurant I'm going to. We can talk about, it's all based on fossil fuels. Obviously, to get there, we have to get to a car that's powered by fuel by gasoline, refined oil. You know, even if you have an electric car, the components of the car, everything that's built by the car itself is built in a coal-powered facility. That can't be denied. That has to be made clear. So even if I drive a Tesla, I don't have the fossil fuels. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. The mileage it took for you to get to the factory, and the factory itself is coal powered. They're coal cars. That's the reality. So I say no wind turbines, no solar panels for powering entire city. If you want to get your solar panels for your for your house or something like that, that's different. That's you're trying to save a few bucks on your electric bill. Whatever, that's cool too. There's nothing wrong with solar panels. Nothing necessarily wrong with wind turbines. It's just that the argument, like they're better. Like what? No, they're not even close. They can't. They're not even in the same league. They're a middle school JV basketball team compared to the NBA, which are in fossil fuels. Wind and solar are like on the junior varsity squad in a middle school or a high school. It's not even a comparison. You can't even compare the two. So I just think so. That's what I think. That's how I feel. Not even how I feel, not what I feel. It's not about your emotions, but it's what I think. It's what I know. I know for a fact, and I know I'm right, that fossil fuels are going to continue to revolutionize our age. I would like to see, jets and cars and rocket ships, all based on hydropower. That'd be really cool. And the only exhaust would be water, but we don't have those capabilities. It's really expensive to do that. Hydrogen cars, hydrogen jets, and hydrogen rocket ships. They would all be, extremely expensive to construct and to maintain and to, just use. It'd be extremely expensive. I think they would be safer. They'd be safer. It'd be clean. It would be cleaner. They'd be cleaner. But that's not what we have now. What we have now is the best thing going. Fossil fuels. Fossil fuels are the best thing going. They have an attachment to reality. They have attachment to the truth. They have attachment to what's right. I'm just gonna look up. I'm looking it up right now. Okay, so I had to check something, but yeah. So hydrogen power, it is a possibility, but it's far off. It's way far off. It's not even in the next few decades, I guess. It says power of hydrogen refers to a logarithmic scale measuring the acidity or alkalinity of a solution, indicating hydrogen concentration. Hydrogen economy. Let me see. Limiting climate change. Well, I don't know if we'll ever phase out fossil fuels, but that's what they're talking about in this article about hydrogen economy. In this context, a hydrogen economy encompasses the production of hydrogen and the use of hydrogen in the ways that continue to phasing out fossil fuels and timing and limiting climate change. Yeah, that's cool, but the amount of money that's going to take is amazing. More widespread use of hydrogen in economies entails the need for investment in costs in production, storage, distribution, and use. Estimates of hydrogen's costs are therefore complex and need to make assumptions about the cost of energy inputs, typically gas and electricity, production plan and plant and method, green or blue hydrogen. I didn't know there was a green or blue hydrogen. Technologies use alkaline or proton exchange membrane electrolyzers, storage and distribution methods, and how different cost elements might change over time. These factors are incorporated into calculations of the levelized cost of hydrogen. The following table shows a range of estimates of the. All right, so there's a table that shows it. A 2022 Goldman Sachs analysis anticipates that globally green hydrogen will achieve cost parity with gray hydrogen by 2030, earlier if a global carbon tax is placed on gray hydrogen. In terms of cost per unit of energy, blue and gray hydrogen will always cost more than the fossil fuels used in its production. Can I say that again? In terms of cost per unit of energy, blue and gray hydrogen will always cost more than the fossil fuels used in its production, while green hydrogen will always cost more than the renewable electricity used to make it. So it's cute. You can be real cute. You say, oh, hydrogen's going to be the one. No. Fossil fuels. Fossil fuels all the way. Oil, natural gas, and coal. They say it's dirty. It's nasty. Life expectancy, quality of life, standard of life, all shot up, rocketed. Just went way up. From around 1770s, 70s, 80s, all the way up to about the late 19th century and into the 20th century. It just exploded. I mean that's not a good term to use for fossil fuels, but it just expanded, or it increased dramatically. All because of the use of fossil fuels, all because of the use of plastics. Now they're talking about forever plastics that are in our food and that seep into the ground and seep into the water, and we're drinking it and we're eating it, and it's causing Parkinson's and Alzheimer's and things of that nature. That's the risk. I'd rather die of Alzheimer's or Parkinson's when I'm 80 or 90 than, I'll be turning 38 this year. And I'd rather be, alive and well and be able to use fossil fuels right now and see what happens when I get to my 80s and 90s. That's all I can say. I mean, that's just the reality. That's the facts. Those are facts. We have to acknowledge that. We have to, see to it that we have a better position for our lives. Oil is life. Coal is life. Natural gas is life. That's why the standard of it, the quality of it, and the extension of it, and expectancy of it, all tie into fossil fuels. There's no way you can ever say fossil fuels are evil or something like that. So I have to credit Alex Epstein and Dr. Jerome Brook for those ideas. His views on Epstein's views, this is according to Wikipedia. Epstein's views on climate change are controversial. How are they controversial? It's the truth. How can you argue with, that's true, but I'm still against it? Like, I don't understand how that works. He agrees that climate change is largely human caused, but does not believe that widespread use of fossil fuels is an existential threat to humanity. That's what I'm saying. Yes, the globe is getting hotter. Earth is warming. There's no question. And humans probably played a huge role in that. But I don't give a goddamn, because we're doing much better than our ancestors ever could even imagine. If you died at the age of 41, you had a long life in certain tribes and different civilizations. 41 was a good age. I was like, you made it, man. You're like a grandpop now. You're pretty old. Now people are living into their 90s and hundreds, and you don't think that's because of fossil fuels? He had another book he called "The Moral Case for Fossil Fuels." That was his book before Fossil Future. He says it is increasing use of fossil fuels that can generate more cheap and abundant energy for more people, and that this allows for greater access to and lower costs of air conditioning, providing an enhanced availability of cooling and hotter climates. That's a fact. Epstein also cites studies in support of using more fossil fuel generated energy for heat and climate controlling power generation to further improve standards of living, especially in extreme environments where cold weather kills 20 times as many people as hot weather. So it's cute to say, oh, well, everybody's getting killed by the global warming. More people die in colder climates. Or colder weather, I should say. He's saying that Western culture is overall superior, and certainly in terms of government historically, because it's really the birth of modern freedom. He was saying that because he argued that African countries are inferior to the West, which they are. A lot of them are s-holes. Okie dokie. Got that from Fallout. But yeah, he's just tell the truth. I mean, it's just simple. It's glaring. It's glaring. The reality. It's a glaring reminder that we are all dependent upon the idea of fossil fuels. All of us, every human being on this planet. And I only care about the human beings. So far as to say, I don't care about nature in the same way I care about human beings. I care about human beings way more than nature. If there's a snail that's gonna die off and it'll go extinct, it goes extinct. There should be people that are fighting for it and using private means and property rights. They're not violating anybody's property rights to do it. That's fine. That's great. If there's a whale that needs to be saved, if there's the bees are coming back. They were actually doing what was it called, the colony collapse disorder or something like that, CCD. That is pretty much a thing in the past now. Nobody's talking about that anymore. They pretty much got that in control. That's extraordinary. But yeah, so I would say, respect the fact that there are so many people that are, clamoring, fighting and clawing tooth and nail to get, what it feels like to have air conditioning or it feels like to have heat. They don't know because they don't have fossil fuels like that. They're not burning fossil fuels. They're burning dung and things of that nature. They're burning, scraps of wood and stuff like that, It's not the same thing. So I just wanted to say that. I wanted to say, fossil fuels all the way. Salute to fossil fuels. Salute to all the men and women and the brains and the minds that create these values for us to live every single day. All right. Transition, living every single day. He's living his best life right now. Boosie Badazz. Boosie Badazz has been able to bring himself to a point where he does not have to worry about going to prison. He had a weapons charge, and all he had to do, what saved him was time served, $50,000, $50,000, what's it called? Not reward. What's it called? $50,000 fine, and 300 hours of community service. So that's a big jump. You know, he could have been in prison again as a convicted felon based off of an Instagram post. This guy, I like this guy. He's a good guy. From what I know, you know, from what I've seen in the media. I don't know him personally, but I like Boosie. He seems like he's a really, you know, personable, you know, really rational, smart kind of guy. But you know, he got caught up. He's on an Instagram post. He had that wild thing on his waist. He had that doohickey, that whopper, that chopper. Not the chopper, but you know, he had the burner. He had it on his waist in the video. So they're like, wait a minute, what's this? And they had to stop him on a traffic stop, and they found all kinds of weapons in his vehicle. They're like, oh, come on, man. Like, seriously? Come on, Boosie. He's just like, oh, I know. Like, but he 50,000 is nothing to him, obviously. He's got Boosie Town or Boosie Estates. It's this sprawling, you know, 88-acre tract of land that he's using for venues and entertainment and things of that nature. I'm going to just give a rundown real quick. Extensive estate spends 88 acres in Georgia, transforming raw land into a personal paradise. Multiple homes includes a large mansion and several other houses, some intended for his children with plans for rentals. Batman Mansion, a significant custom-built house on the property with themed rooms like Joker and Catwoman, showcasing his personal style. Private lake, a stocked fishing lake, Lake Badazz, with docks, feeders, and plans for various fish, serving as his personal retreat. Personalized details. Streets are named after family and deceased friends, with murals and decor reflecting his life and loved ones. Inspirational project, a testament to his financial success, demonstrating that people can build substantial wealth and prosperity over time, and starting from nothing. That is beautiful. He has Boosie Town. So, you know, you have to respect this. You really do have to respect it. That's just amazing. He's been able to transform nothing into something. That's great. So, you know, his ability to demonstrate to the judge or to whomever was governing the case that, you know, he didn't need any more prison time. He didn't need to be in prison. This guy's too creative. He's too thoughtful. Just to give him, you know, but it's like he just can't say it. I just want to make sure he's not, you know, encased in a glass bubble for the rest of his life, because he just seems like he can't get out of trouble. He just is always in trouble. Like every time I turn around, I'm like Boosie Badazz, going in for weapons charges, you know, going in for this, going for that. Like, what is that about? How do you even achieve that? How do you even achieve that kind of stature? How does that even happen? That's my question. But he's out. He's not locked behind bars. He's completely away from the prison system. He just dropped 50 racks. 50 racks, like he can drop 50 racks on some jeans. 50 racks can be stuffed in the back of his back pocket. 50 racks is nothing to this guy. And 300 hours of community service, he can knock that out without nothing. So simply. But I just don't want him to get in any more trouble. I mean, it just seems like it's on the horizon. You know, you'll see in the headline, Boosie Badazz caught up in some other mess. So, but I really do appreciate his music. I love his blues album. I think it's Boosie's Blues Cafe, if I'm not mistaken. I love that. It's a great album. He's like rap singing, rap bluesing. You know, he's bluesy. It's hip hop. It's a lot of different feelings. I'm listening to that in a coffee shop. I'm just like, I was feeling it. I was like, yeah, this is what life is about. Just in my own solitude, just away from it all. So that is the reality of that. That's the truth. It's a it's really an honor for him to be, in such a great place financially, because he puts in the work. What? Oh, hold on. Let me make sure. Hold on. Wait a minute. Just give me a moment. I'm looking for him right now. He's only 43. He's 5 years older than my son. 6 years. Well, 5 years and a few months. Uh, I'm looking for him right now. Hold on. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 albums, studio albums. And they all probably support him. Well, I see. Okay, maybe a lot of our compilations. But it says 13. 13, that's still a lot. 13 studio albums, 1 EP, 26 singles, mixtapes 44, feature singles, 15 guest appearances on 78. That's where he really shines. He shines the most on guest appearances. That's where you know him for. Boosie Badazz. Boosie Badazz. So he's been able to put out all these different tracks. I'm looking for the one I like. I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Boosie Blues Cafe, 2018, going on a decade. That's crazy. See, they don't even have it listed. Some of them aren't listed. This is crazy. The Boosie Badass Cafe is not even listed. That's wild. But I just think I just think that was that's a whoo. He dodged one. He dodged one. He's probably looking at 10 years, another 10 years down the hole. But they said $50,000 fine, 300 hours of community service, and why do I always? Wait a minute, hold on. Why do I do that? Oh my God. Time served. Jesus Christ. Time served. Time served. 300 hours of community service and $50,000 fine. Nothing. That is nothing. That's not even like close to getting off. He's not even have to serve a single day in prison or something like that. But he's gotta be smarter than he is. He's a smart guy. He's gotta be much quicker. He's gotta be more thoughtful. He's gotta be aware of his surroundings. What they used to call woke. Okay, before the term got misused, and abused, woke meant that you were aware of your surroundings, that you knew what was going on, that you weren't, sleepy, that you weren't, well, I didn't know I was in this part of town. I didn't know why I was here. No, you knew exactly what it was, what time to be there, what time you had to leave. It was a sundowner town. People don't come out to say, "Oh, you ain't from here, around these parts, are you, boy?" That kind of thing. Like, that's what I don't want for Boosie. I don't want that to happen to him. Not in those specific terms, but just in the sense of him not being able to contest, more drug or gun charges or something like that. That is the reality. Mr. Hatch has to deal with. I think his name is Torrance Hatch. Yeah, Torrance Hatch. So, I mean, that's not a good look. 44 years old, 54-year-olds getting out of prison, like, and it must be a winning streak for various rappers getting out of prison right now. Fetty Wap, god damn, Fetty Wap, he got out of prison early. Max B got out of prison early. And Boosie Badazz didn't have to go to prison. That's the beauty of it all. So it's just a matter of being aware of your surrounding, being aware that you are a target. As a black man in America, you have a giant crosshairs on your back. This is a fact. No matter who you are, where you are, in the United States of America, you're a black man, you got a huge target on your back. That's a whole fact. And they're just waiting for you to slip up so they can descend and put the claws of justice into your chest and pick you up and carry you away to prison. That's a fact. Even though white people commit more crimes than black people, even though there's more white people in prison than black people, it's the concentration, it's the amount, it's the percentage. The percentage is what's crazy. It's like what? Blacks are like 14% of the population and like 30% of the jail system or something like that. That's where it gets to be serious. And I mean that in the prison system as well. But Torrance Hatch didn't have to go through that. He smartened up, opened the market up. So I think, just as Boosie Badazz, took it upon himself to be a strong presence on the hip hop stage, he just as a gun, just I don't know if he can. I don't think he can own firearms. I think he gave those firearms away, or they were confiscated by the government, by the police. I don't think he can, fire any weapons anymore. I think that's the facts. So that's just the reality of that, because he has the ability. He has ability. He has talent. He has a personality. He just watch his Vlad TV interviews. The guy's hilarious. The guy's thoughtful. The guy's introspective. The guy's, witty. He puts emphasis on his words, on the right syllable, the right way of saying things, the right way of conveying a message, of expressing himself. And that's what makes Boosie Boosie. His name is really close to Bussy. Boosie and Bussy. Very close. Not the same, but very close. So I think with the idea of making it a understanding where people can grasp what it means to be a leading rapper in today's culture. It's so simple. It's like, oh yeah, he's going to, he's going to get hit with a prison sentence, or he's going to get hit with this, with that, with. That's how people argue each day at the barbershop. You hear about Boosie? Yeah, I heard about Boosie. He only had to give $15,000. Oh, $15,000? Wow. Oh, $300 as community service? Oh, and time served? All right. That's what's up. That's going on in barbershops now. If that still is a thing, I don't know about barbershops. I don't. The last thing what time I was in a barbershop was in 2011. So what's that? 2011. Hold on, what was that? Almost 15 years ago. Yeah, about 15 years ago. So I wouldn't know, but I know that's the spot for talking about sports and the weather and politics and different beautiful women in the scene. That's what barbershops were for, or maybe still are. But that's one of the things that about the black community, quote unquote black community. There's a nail salon, there's a hair salon, there's a bodega, there's a funeral home, and a barbershop, and that's about it. Everything else is owned by other people. Red, yellow, brown, white. Black people own nothing besides those other cornerstones of the not even the nail salon. I'll say a hair salon. The nail salon is owned by yellow people. But with Boosie's giving me traction. He's giving me traction because he's giving me a chance to say, hey, I can do that too. I want to go down south in Sussex County, Delaware, set up a land for a film studio. I'm gonna probably be finished that by the time I'm 70 or 80 years old, but it'll be a start. That's what my goal is. That's what my dream is. That's what I'm talking to you right now, in anticipation that I may realize this dream and not just have it be a hanging moons, as they say, or have it be a pipe dream, And even if it is, I'm gonna fight. That's what people got confused about 50 Cent's first album, Get Rich or Die Trying. That means he's like, oh well, just steal and rob and kill, get your means however by any way you can. No, Get Rich or Die Trying is literally that. Try to get as much money as you possibly can, and in the process, if you die trying, That's just what it is. But at least you put up the fight. At least you put up the fight. That's the whole point. You put up the fight. You said, I'm going to try this. I'm going to ride this out. I'm going to do this. And that's the way it went. That's the reality. That's when people, start to realize how beneficial it is to study, to learn. He obviously had to study and learn, to get his acreage up. He has 88 acres. I mean, that's beautiful. I just think that's great. And he's not to be honest, he's not a premier rapper. He's not Jay-Z. He's not like even a Ice Cube or, he's not even like a Ye. He's not like these huge names. Not 50. He's not 50 Cent. He's not part of the main zeitgeist. He's not. He never crossed over into the pop, the hip hop, HIPPOP, hip hop landscape. But he was able to make enough money to get 88 acres. I'm just wondering what these other rappers that you think are famous or big or have been able to do. What in their agenda have they accomplished? That's what I want to know. So for him to be so successful and able, and how many kids he has? Kids, hold on, he's got how many kids? He has 8 children with 6 women. That's serious. He has said that he did not believe marriage was a good choice for him because he did not want to lose half or his fortune to his spouse in the event that he committed adultery, and has praised women who stay in a relationship with an unfaithful partner, saying he respects those women. One of his ex-girlfriends, Juanita DeCure, was arrested on charges related to drug distribution for attempting to smuggle illicit substances to Boosie, reportedly marijuana, codeine, and MDMA, who at the time was incarcerated. Wow. He lives one hell of a life. That's one hell of a life. So he took to Instagram asking for insulin glargine, I think that's not even, or glargine, also known as Lantus, asking followers in the Jacksonville area to call him. Wow. He has type 1 diabetes. So he can check out anytime. Diabetes doesn't care. Diabetes does not care. It can snatch you out of here. Look at Patrice O'Neal and so many others. Patrice O'Neal had diabetes. I think he died from complications of pneumonia based on the disease. Let me make 100% sure. Oh, he had a stroke. Excuse me. Patrice O'Neal had a stroke. He had a stroke. So I think Boosie has quite a career, quite a life. I mean, that's the whole thing. That's what's so beautiful about these United States of America. You can come from nothing and make something extraordinary. That's the key. We're living in a gold mine. And they might be literal gold, but it's your mind. Because all property is intellectual property, as Ayn Rand once said. So for him to have all those albums supporting him, to have other ventures that he is involved in, that's extraordinary. That's great. He should be proud of that. He should be happy about that. That's something that he should be able to look back on and say, "Wow, I did that. I earned that. That was mine, selfishly, rational self-interest." That's how you should view it. So, um, Boosie Badass, the truth. I just can't say it enough. So I just think it is it's powerful. It's mighty. It's a mighty sentiment to understand that you can do whatever you want in this country, and it still stands for that. Still stands for that. I think the rappers are the last bastion for showing you that you can go from most of them are from the streets, most of them are from broken homes, most of them are from the different areas that are depressed and full of that are now being gentrified. Um, that's extraordinary. That's wonderful. I think for him to be able to do that. That is the power behind all of this. So I mean, it's just a matter of knowing when and where and how you carry yourself. That's all it is. In summation, that's all it means. That's all it means. It's the only thing that carries you on. I'm a Marine. I'm a man. I'm a Marine. Some say I might be a provider. But those are the key issues that I face. I was able to finesse the government for pay because of truth. Because this is true. I have bipolar disorder. It's a fact. And I was not saying, nobody gave me the option saying, "Oh, do you want to come to the mental facility? You want to come to the psych ward?" No, they knocked my ass out and dragged me to a place miles away and gave me a diagnosis of bipolar 1. So I'm obviously going to say, "Look, I'm getting as much money as I can out of you because I earned it. I did not look for it. I did not try to find it. I earned it based off the fact that people took it upon themselves to be a oh, here we go. Bumba, you're late. Boosie probably snitched. Well, I don't think so. I don't think he snitched. And if he did snitch, that's good for him. Better to snitch than to not snitch. But I thank you, Bumba. You're coming in late, but I gotta go. I gotta get ready for the night's the evenings, the lights, some good food. So I appreciate you, and I will see all of you sometime tomorrow. Thank you very much. Take care.